see the palace, the remains of the palace, which was built in the 13th century BC. But we know that underneath that structure, there are two older structures, native palaces, which have not been investigated yet. So the palace on the top of the Acropolis. With the number 8, we see the main courtyard of the palace. This is where, right on the top, huh? No, we're not at the bottom. We're on the top.
Okay.
So number 8, main courtyard. This is where the king was announcing his decisions to the aristocrats. The palace area is closed to the visitors. We cannot walk through, we cannot cross the courtyard to go to the throne room, the big room at the corner by the gorge. You can see a circle in the middle. That was the conference room, throne room, or Megaron in Greek. And this is what we call the backside of the Acropolis, where we see the remains of storerooms and workshops. And in this part of the Acropolis, we have another gate, the north or postern gate, the back door, with the number 17. And at the very back of the Acropolis, you see the openings? One on this side, openings in the walls, and one on the other side. They look like tunnels. These were emergency exits. Escape in case of a fire, for instance. The main entrance, the Lion Gate, on the model with the number 1. You see the pathway? Going up. So after the gate, the pathway continues. It's the ramp that we see with the number 4, and Greek letters aside, for Alpha and for Vita, leading to the top. And this big complex of rooms, that's the religious center, the temple area, also close to the visitors. This section of the Acropolis with the number 6, we speculate that these were houses, mansions. We're not certain though. And the circle with the number 3, a cemetery, a necropolis, the city of the dead. It's a cemetery, graveyard. Now we have graves separated from the buildings by a wall that has the shape of a circle. So we have a grave circle. And we have another one outside the walls. It's opposite the ticket office. The one outside the Acropolis is the grave circle B, and the one inside the grave circle A. The graves in these two cemeteries date in the 17th and the 16th century BC. They're much older than the tomb that we saw. And the archaeologists were very lucky in both these cases when they excavated the graves. They found skeletic materials and they found items. A lot of the items were made of precious materials, gold, silver, bronze, precious or semi-precious stones, like the lapis lazuli, a blue stone, ivory items were found. And these items, which were made of precious materials, are to be seen in the National Archaeological Museum of Athens. In this museum, we have seen
we're going to the room with the graves in a while, but before we do that, I would like you to have a look at the items in these 3 showcases. We have cooking pots opposite. In these pots, traces of food were found, like meat or lentils. What about this item in that showcase? It's quite rare, actually. It's a barbecue, a smoky grill. And in this showcase, we have some items used by the Mycenaeans in their everyday lives. You see the coffee bottles on the corner here, feeding bottles we call them. And the Mycenaeans, you'll be surprised, they were drinking a lot of tea, mountain tea. And this is the teapot, this pot here with a strainer in the front. And pots here with a very small, a very thin, narrow opening. What was kept in these pots must have been quite precious because they didn't want to spill anything out by mistake. And precious was the olive oil. They used it when they cooked. They used it for illumination light. They had oil lamps. And they used it to make perfumes, aromas, aromatic oils. And the olive oil was the main product the Mycenaeans were exporting. And we see the wine cups, the wine glasses here in the front, dirt in them. In the dirt, traces of wine were found. And a beer glass on the corner. They were drinking a sort of a beer. And there's a fragment of a pot on the other side. A fragment of a pot where traces of honey were found. Honey, another product that the Mycenaeans would export. The three main products: wine, honey, and olive oil. Let's go to the room with the grave goods, ladies and gentlemen. The Mycenaeans believed in the